Bonjour, peeps. Hi, this is Neshi. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page, where I do a daily, or almost daily, live stream based on a card draw that I do for the energy of the day. And today is Tuesday, October 16th. And Tuesdays are always, I call them terrific Tuesdays, because here at Star Nations, it's a very busy day of the week, and because we have multiple shows, live stream shows on Tuesdays, and so they keep me busy and out of trouble, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Well, hello, Jackie and Nellie, Mervyn Kelly. So good to see you in the chat. I'm so glad you guys are with me. It is a beautiful day here in Toma, Wisconsin. We got blue skies and sunshine. It's not like frigid cold, but it is cool out. It's, like in the 40s. Not bad at all. It'll take that in the sunshine compared to the last, what did we have, like 4 days of rain. This is so much better. Before I forget, because I do that a lot, I forget to share and like the live stream. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to take a couple of moments here and share it out. So make sure my sound is turned down. And we're going to like it, and I'm going to share it to my timeline. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to write a post. So I'm just going to send it all to my friends. And let them know I'm live streaming. And to ask them to please join me. Gotta space that. Join me. There we go. I'm going to post that, and then I'm also going to post it. Hello, Jackie. I'm also going to post it to the Star Nations closed group for the radio network, and also for the Academy. And we'll get that done. Doesn't take long. It's because I like those quick keys. And then to please join me. There we go. And we're going to do it to the closed group radio network and the Academy closed group. There we go. Done. Done and done, as they say. That's good. Yeah, it's it's been a busy morning. Tuesday mornings are always busy. Tuesdays in general are. And that's because we have so many live stream shows on Tuesday. And this morning we had to add, I have a clean house. Yay! The house cleaners are here this morning, and they're here every other Tuesday. And so that's one of my favorite days of the week because I have a clean house. Hey, Ann is with us. Hi, Annie. I'm so glad you could join us in the chat. It's always good to see your name in the chat room. So for those who maybe haven't seen this live stream and is wondering, what the heck is she talking about? That I started doing a live stream back in, I think it was early May, based on divination card draws that I do just about every day anyway for myself, right? And I've been doing that for years. And this past, it's been a year. It's been a year that I've been posting a quote from those card draws on the Star Nations organization's Instagram account. And then in May, I thought, hey, maybe some of the community members here at Star Nations would like to, maybe have a chat about that card or the cards that were drawn for that day. And literally, I'm connecting with my spiritual team every morning and asking them, what is the most important energy for us to know about today for our highest good, and that we can share with others, right? And so that's the intention. And so it's a card that is drawn for all of us in general, but the messages and the information that we share is really for the individual, right? So, and this is the deck that we're currently using. This is a deck called Angels and Ancestors, and it's by Kyle Gray. He's from the UK. He resides in Glasgow, excuse me, Glasgow, Scotland. And I got this deck. I was looking for a new deck. I was about maybe a month and a half or 2 months ago, and I was just scrolling through one of my favorite stores, Amazon.com, and just looking for a deck that had more of a Native American slant to it, because there's not many good ones out there. And or just earth-based in general. And this one jumped off the screen at me, so I ordered it. And I have to say, I really do like it. I like it a lot. He talks a lot about bringing ancient information through to the modern day and how we can use it today, right? And it's so close to Star Nation's mission, our vision statement. So, yeah. And he has something written on the inside of the box too. It says, "Guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now." I just like that. I like that a lot. It brings us our focus right to the moment, and it also reminds us that when we're doing the card draws, that it's a sacred moment. It's when we're connecting to spirit, and so it's a sacred moment. Yeah, and I get to do that every morning. Sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late in the morning. It depends on what's going on here. So what's interesting is this first card that came, and that George, my puppy, he's doing really good. Hello, Georgie. He's doing really good. He's just kind of wandering around. He likes to go underneath the altar, spends a little time under there. Yeah, I think it's because it's den-like under there. It's a little darker, quieter. Yeah. As long as he's happy under there, that's all that matters, right? It's kind of funny when you see him peek out underneath the altar cloth. Yeah. All right, so the first card that came today, look at this one. Stargazer. See your sights, or set your sights higher. Set your sights higher. Yeah, look at that robe. He's got stars in his robe, not just in the sky. The Milky Way is behind him. I like this one. And, to me, that's Star Nations right there. We're stargazers, aren't we? Set your sights higher. And if you notice on his telescope, there's symbols on it. Yeah. Light language. And it looks like some astrology, which is light language, right? So, Stargazer. How many of you? Hi, Minnie, my sister's in the house. Minnie just joined us. So did Annie. Annie, hi, Annie. She's giving me heart eyes like that. How many people in the live chat, asking you a question, love to go out and look at the stars at night? Been doing that since I was a little kid. I would go out and sit on the hood of my parents' car and rest against the windshield. So I'd be looking up, and I'd be wondering about going home. I wonder if my home's out there. Whereas some of my brothers, when they would be with me, and we'd be out there together, they were looking for ETs, the streaks of light, the blinky lights that go in every direction, so that they're not stars and that kind of thing. And we lived out in the country. We did have a yard light, which kind of ruined the brightness of the stars. But once you got out of the range of the yard light, Yeah, you could really see them really well. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Jackie says she tries each night. Yeah. Yeah, depending on whether, the cloud cover and stuff. Um, yeah, and when I'm out with George now, at night, um, and just gazing up at the stars, that's to me, that's about loving grandfather sky and appreciating, right? Loving it. So pretty, so pretty. So let's find out what Kyle writes about Stargazer. Set your sights higher. Go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. To believe that the impossible is possible. So setting our sights higher. And when we do that, doesn't it make you stretch? Makes you stretch. It sometimes, and it should, make you stretch out of your comfort zone. I call that growing pains. I call that that soul growth, right? Yeah, when we set our sights higher, that when we believe the impossible is possible, because miracles literally happen every single day. Every single day. Those miracles, those things that occur that have no logical way that they could happen. you know and I've told this story many times, but it's one of my prime examples, is that when we were getting ready to move up here, our house in Poynette, which is just north of Madison, our state capital, we were staging the house basically. We were taking everything that we had in storage at the house and putting it into and bringing it up here to store it in a storage shed. And I had just finished up teaching. No, I was teaching, but it was the Sacred Space Symposium I used to hold. And so we were just coming off a weekend from that. And I have bins, with the plastic bins with the lids. And some of them had been moved back into the house and some of them hadn't. They were still out in my vehicle. And so early in the day, I had gone out and was taking the two that had been in the back end of my vehicle, so that Paul could put in some of the storage items, because he worked up here. So he was going to be leaving the next morning to come up here, and then he would take that load and put it into the storage shed. Well, I'm downstairs in the basement, right? And he's hauling things up, and I come upstairs to find him, to ask him something, and there was an eagle feather laying on my kitchen counter. It wasn't mine. It was brand new. Never seen it before. And so Paul comes in the back door, and I asked him, I said, "Where'd you get the feather from?" He says, "Well, I thought it was yours." No. He said, "Well, it was in the back end of your vehicle." He said, "I was going to put some boxes in there, and it was laying in the middle of the back end." And he said, "I thought maybe it had fallen out of the bins that you had in there." And I said, "No, none of those bins had feathers in them." And so we had this immature eagle, a juvenile eagle tail feather, sitting on my counter. Out of thin air, it appeared. And so I called my mom, because I had to share it with somebody. I called her, and she says, "Oh, that's probably for me." Well, okay. She said she was doing beadwork, and she was thinking about me a few days ago. And she always used to worry about making sure that I was doing good medicine, because she would always say, "I want to make sure that you're doing good medicine so that we see each other after we die," right? In other words, I wasn't compromising my soul. and she asked for a sign that that it would really kind of be shocking, kind of, And so this feather shows up. So I told her, I said, "Oh, well, okay, I'm glad now that you believe that I'm doing good." And I said, "I'll bring the feather to you the next time I come to your house." And she said, "No," she says, "why don't you keep it? You can use it in your work." So that's how I got that feather, and I do use it. That's the feather I usually use when we do talking circles, and so anyway, that setting your sights higher, and those miracles, those things that when they occur, they happen every day, and sometimes we just don't really see it. We don't acknowledge it, but they're there. Yeah, Anne says, one of the best things about living out in the middle of nowhere, no light pollution here, so you can see everything. That is great. And we used to live up near there, right? Anne's near Gresham, Wisconsin, and we used to live in a little tiny burg called Caroline, and it was just like a white spot in the road, right? And so when she says that there's no light pollution up there, she means it. It is dark, dark, dark up there. So dark is that when you step out and you turn the light, you're like your porch light off or something, you can't see your hand in front of your face. That dark. So yes, I bet you anything, Anne, it feels like you could reach out and touch the stars, right? Gorgeous stuff up there. All right, so here's what else that Kyle says about Stargazer. Do you ever remember wishing on a star when you were a child and in your innocence believing that your wish would come true? I read that and immediately in my mind I was thinking, starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, I wish on this star tonight. And then you state your wish, right? But I mean, it's little things like that. When was the last time I actually said that out loud, right? But as soon as I read that sentence, I remembered it, and wishing on those stars. Or when we see a falling star, right? Which is pretty spectacular in itself. Or when we're watching the comets come in August and January, and watching them come in. He goes on to say that the stargazer connects with the energy of the cosmos and reminds you that the ability to draw in support from the universe. His cloak, with its sparkles and light, shows that you are closer to the energy of the universe than you think. You don't have to go out looking for it, it's already there. So look beyond where you are and create a bigger dream, bigger visions and goals, because with the power and help of the cosmos, those wishes can come true. That's one of the things that I mean when I say that everything that we need in this moment, in whatever we're going through, if you want to call them challenges or if you want to call them life lessons or the good ones too, right? Navigating through something. Everything that we need to be able to get through it, we already have. All of our tools are right here at our fingertips. Many times what we do though is we forget to use them or to call on them, to turn to our spiritual team and ask them for help. So everything that we need is right here. And that's what Kyle's saying is when we're looking at this card and we see that the starlight, the stars, the sparklies are right in his robe, that the universe is right here. As above, so below, as within, so without. So we have the universe within us. It flows through us every day, every second. It's called prana. It's called universal energy. It comes down through our crystalline tube and up through the bottom and down through the top. It's flowing through us all the time. It's a gentle flow, and we're connected to everything. Everything. So when we say, I'm going to send it out into the universe, it's not really going out there because it's in your heart, right? So everything is right here, right now, in the present moment. I kind of like that. So from where I'm sitting and broadcasting, I'm facing west, okay? And my altar is right in front of me. And I have 2 sand paintings that were gifted to me by Minnie Kansman, one of my sisters. And one of them is, actually, it's Grandmother Earth and Grandfather Sky. And it's 2 separate sand paintings, but they're made as a set. And the one that I can see most easily from this vantage point is Grandfather Sky. And I'll take a picture of him and post it after I'm done with the live stream so you guys can see it. But really, the universe is right inside of us. So when we're stargazing, when we're looking up at the stars and we're thinking how beautiful, that we're enraptured by it, right? That's within us as well. So when we appreciate the beauty, we can also appreciate the beauty that's also inside of us when we think about the stars. He goes on to say that you're on the verge of a miracle. All of your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp, and you are being guided to focus on your vision. The angels who are with you are encouraging you. There is nothing you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or a pattern of lack and not feeling good enough. In the past, you've often found it impossible to recognize your worth and to believe that you are deserving of blessings. Angel and ancestor wisdom is reminding you that you are an incredible and infinite spark of the universe. And the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. You are talented, filled with strength, and have the abilities you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. Now that is a pretty positive card. One of the things that happens when we give tobacco, it's an offering, right? And in the tobacco ceremony, we're taking just a pinch of tobacco and we're giving it to the sun, the moon, the stars, all the planets. And we name the 4 directions and all the bodies of water. We take a pinch and say to all bodies of water, to all things green, to the stone people, to those who swim, to those who fly, to those who crawl, to the 4-legged and the 2-legged. And so we name and we just give a pinch to each one. So when we're giving tobacco, we're actually asking for something. Some people might call it a prayer. It's a request for assistance. So when we give tobacco, it's not something that we haven't seriously considered. We're consciously doing this. Why? Because we're asking the entire universe, all of creation, to come to our aid. Think about that just for a moment. All of creation being requested to come to your aid. That's pretty big. That's huge. Yeah. And so when I give to the moon, the stars, the sun, I'm giving it to Grandfather Sky and all the planets, they're saying, and all the planets. And so it's big medicine, it really is. Hey, Jan Jacobs, hello there. Oh, you're welcome. She says, thank you for doing these readings. You're very welcome, Jan. And Elise Miller's here. Yay, Elise. I'm so glad you're here. I know that afternoons are kind of a challenge to get here. But I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you. Rochelle is here too. Hello, Rochelle. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, Elise, I am going to do it. It's on my to-do list. She says, wish you would read my interpretation of grandmother. I am. I will. It is a promise. It is on my stuff to do. Absolutely. And let's see. Okay. So let me show you the card again. This is the first card that came. It's called Stargazer. Set your sights higher. So when we're requesting, making the request from our spiritual team, and or that we're making the request, like I just explained with the tobacco, we're literally calling on all of creation to come to us, everything in the universe, everything that's been created, and asking them for their assistance. Yep. I've been doing that since I was a little girl. I think the first time I gave tobacco, I must have been maybe 8 years old. I mean, I've always been a part of it. My mom would do the tobacco, and then when we'd be standing there, she'd hand us, the tobacco pouch, and we had to take a pinch and say our name and put the little pinch of tobacco into her hand. We've been doing that since we were just tiny. And so, sometimes I take that for granted because it was just life. It wasn't, I didn't realize that not everybody did things like that until I was maybe in 5th or 6th grade. Yeah. So when I share this with you guys, it's literally me slowing down a little bit and saying, okay, this is what we do when we have a big request, a big ask. It's not something that we do, for the small things. These are big requests. Yeah. Yeah, they're saying that you don't have to just use tobacco, because tobacco is just a really it's a spiritual connection that I have to that sacred herb. You can use it if you want to, but if you find that you feel uncomfortable with it, you can use other things. You can use like the Navajo and the Hopi, they use cornmeal. Yeah. And you can have any color. Blue is very special, but any color cornmeal. You can also use flower petals. I've used lavender buds before to give tobacco. I mean, for offerings, right? Yeah. So you can use anything that means something to you. Let's see. Nellie is still. Mervyn, are you still in the live chat? When Druids do an offering in a tobacco kind of way, is there a certain kind of plant that's used? Sometimes if it's ground up or dried and kind of, in that way. I'm just wondering if there's a something similar that the Druids might be using for that. It feels like it anyway, that it would be something similar. Maybe, I was thinking a plant that's been dried, or maybe some wood from a special tree that's been kind of like sawdust in a way. I'm just curious. I'm curious. Rochelle saying, Neshi, will you keep this time for your non-show? I think so, Rochelle. Mornings have gotten to be very full. And trying to get everything done to be up here at 10 a.m. was getting to be very stressful. And so moving it to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Central Time, has made life a little bit easier down at the house, down at the home. So yeah, I think so. And Paul is going to be going on a hunting trip at the end of this month, and he'll be gone for 12 days. And so mornings will be even more full because everything that he does in the morning, he won't be here to do. So I'm going to have to add that on to what I'm doing now. So, yep, afternoons, I believe so. And oh, good. Mervyn saying I type slowly. That's okay. We're patient. It's all right. Yes, he's saying yes. That druids do use something similar to a tobacco ceremony. Are you able to share with us what is used? Because I know sometimes some of those sacred items are held kind of close, that you have to be within a certain, I don't know, I won't call it a circle. If you're in the circle, you get to know the information. Because there was a time when I was a kid, we didn't talk about this stuff. Never talked about giving tobacco. No way. You never even told anybody your native name. Didn't talk about it. And especially to non-natives. Yeah. So I would say that started changing. I want to say it was like the late 80s, maybe early 90s. And then, gaining momentum by the decades. And then so here we sit in 2018, and it's like, something that it's easy to share with you guys. Elise said, I'll try to change things here as I miss you and you're not. Aw, Elise, that's so sweet. But you know what? Make sure that you take care of you too, okay? Don't make it more stressful for yourself. There's always the recorded shows, and whenever you can be with us, I appreciate it. I do. But don't make it stressful for yourself. Be good to yourself about it. All right, so this is just reminding us that we have access to the universal energy, Stargazer. And I'd like to think that we're all one of those here at Star Nations. I always thought that it would be fun to do a road trip and meet with a bunch of people, that are Star Nations community, and go out maybe like around Anne's area where, you don't have any light pollution, and to go out there and look up at the stars together, and maybe make some s'mores. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So here's the second card. It's called Elder. The message is move beyond ancestral patterns. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Isn't that a gorgeous card? I love this card. I like all the cards in the deck. But there's something about this particular card that truly does say ancient, doesn't it? Yeah, Aboriginal. Elder. Yeah, just that word alone, elder, gets thrown around a lot, I think. It used to mean that it was somebody who had a great deal of wisdom, a great deal of life experience, that they had a way of being connected to the creator, to spirit, right? They knew ceremonies. This is from my native perspective, obviously, that they knew ceremonies, and they would teach through parables, through storytelling. It was never, in my experience as a kid anyway, it was not done through shaming or spitefulness or a meanness in it. Oh, it was, when they would tell the story, it's like, oh, okay, which one of us did something wrong, and trying to figure it out. And teaching us through the storytelling. And these days, in modern times, being an elder really has more to do with your age, your chronological age, not so much your linear age. Yeah, not your wisdom age is what I'm trying to say, but your chronological age. For instance, I'm considered to be an elder because I'm older than 55. I think I have a long ways to go to be an elder. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of responsibility. And because of my age and considered to be an elder, I get special parking when I go to the casino if it's available. Or when we go to powwows or the Potawatomi, the nation that I'm enrolled with. When we do the gathering, the annual gathering of the Potawatomi Nation, they have special parking for elders. Who knew? Paul and I showed up and we got to park someplace close by. So elders take on a different connotation, I think. All right, Nellie's saying, well, from a Druid perspective, the act of the offering and the personal meaning that's important. Okay, so it's not so much what is used, but your intention. We're coming from your heart, whatever it is you're intending to ask for. All right, that's good to know. Rochelle says, no pollution here or the UP around the Kiwana, I think that's how that's pronounced, peninsula on Lake Superior. I like that. We'll keep that in mind, huh? Elise says that would be a cool place for some of us to meet and stargaze. I think so too. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, my travel restriction is going to have to change in order for me to be there. But one day that is going to happen, and we're going to be able to do some stargazing together. And let's see. Elise is saying Teresa is Mary Beth's sister. Oh, okay. Hi, Teresa. And Anna said you're a spring chicken, but very wise. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that one in a while. Spring chicken. I have a lot of questions about that saying too, but thank you, Anne. I appreciate that. And really, I'm a conduit. I'm just repeating what I'm hearing. When they say, tell them about the tobacco. Oh, okay. And really, when you nurture your relationship with your spiritual team, even when I just turn my thoughts to them, I can feel their love for me. And when something falls together and you can feel the cheering, it's like, yay, high fives all around, that kind of thing. But I can also feel when I'm procrastinating about something or, oh God, not a 333 again. Come on, guys. Not a 333. 333 in numerology is about having to make a decision. And a decision and watching for the next triple number. That if it's a 666, that means you got to start over, like with a life lesson kind of thing situation, because you're not finished yet. Or what I like is 999s. That means we've reached completion. And so my relationship to my spiritual team Yeah, it's a relationship that's been nurtured. And thank you, Anne, for about the being wise. It is really a team effort. It really is because, we're the ones that are in the physical body so that we have the experience and the soul growth, the soul contract that we came in with. And so our spiritual team, and it's big. It's not just 3 or 4 beings that are with us. There's hundreds, sometimes thousands that are with us. Um, and so, yeah, there. All right. So when Polly Joe was here teaching, and we were doing the healing work, the mystical energy healing work, um, there was a healing work that we did. And when it was my turn to be on the healing table, and I called, and because Polly Joe has a way of saying, and calling in the divine is what she calls it. And so I was calling to my spiritual team to be present, and they had me sense, see, feel all that were coming in for that particular healing. And it was like the room was really full, and then they had me sense, and I could feel like energy coming toward me. It'd be kind of like, imagine friends and family, people that you love, walking towards you through the woods. Okay. And as they're coming walking around the trees and coming into to you, that's what it felt like. And there were thousands that were here. And it wasn't just on a single dimension, it was multidimensional. And so there was layers and layers and layers. And so it was really awesome in a way, but also very humbling to sense and feel the immense support for my earth walk, for my soul growth, for what I'm meant to be doing here. And they want me to share that with you because you have that too. It's not just a few. And so we're all spring chickens, and we can all be very wise when we connect with our team and ask for their assistance. Yep. Alex says, like I said, I type slowly. That's okay. We have, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. Mervin's saying my truck license plate has a 333 in it. So if I saw you driving and I caught your license plate number, I'd be going, not another 333. What do I have to decide now? About what? Give me a clue. What am I deciding about this time? Yeah, that would be me. Oh, Lord. So now that I saw the 333, there's a decision. Elise says I'm a fall chicken. Oh my gosh. All right, let's find out what Kyle says about the elder. He says, move beyond the limitations that have been set for you by family members, past and present. Know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. That's big. Just think about that. How many of you have been told that your body type is that way because your Aunt Edna was like that? Or high blood pressure runs in our family. Or Native Americans have a high propensity for diabetes. It's genetic. How many of you guys fall into that? Or if you're Irish, You drink a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of those. And sometimes we use them as the excuse, don't we? And Rochelle, just so you know, this is water. Got to tease you a little bit. So with this card, with the Elder card, what we're being shown is the opportunity to change that, to change it. That there's some things that we can just release. We can heal it and release it. And when we do that kind of inner work, yes, it's helping us in our physical body, but it's also changing it for our ancestors and for our descendants. So when I deal with the diabetes, which by the way has been changed. The last time I was in, my doctor said if I hadn't been the one to give you the diagnosis, I would be saying this was a misdiagnosis. And really, it was all about diet for me. Now, I was a type 2. There is a difference between type 1 and type 2. So when you're type 1, you really have much more inner healing work to do and balancing of a lot of different things in your life. But what this card is saying, let me show it again. What this card is saying is that know that the energy of your spirit is more powerful than genetics and behavioral patterns. That we can move beyond the limitations that have been set for you by family members past and present. So in my family, it's always been, oh, you know, we have heart conditions in our family. One of my brothers, they would say, you know, when they do at clinics, when they do the intake form, and you have to, you know, update it every so often. He says, we're always checking all those boxes, and yeah. So we can change that. We can change it. It said that the Aboriginal people are the oldest tribal people still living on the planet. Their hunter-gatherer culture and ancient spirituality are rooted in tradition and balance with the earth. So the Aboriginal ancestors are offering you not only wisdom that will help you heal and adapt to the ever-changing planet, but also an understanding of what a spiritual life should be. And one of the things that I really am fascinated by is there's a ceremony that the Australian Aboriginals do with fire. And it's not so much the flame, but the embers. And I think that the one that I saw that it depicted it the best that I'd ever seen in film was the movie Australia. Yeah. I find it fascinating. And I actually, it's on my list of things that I want to experience in person, is to be there and to be in ceremony with that. It'd be powerful. So I'd like to experience it in person. Kyle goes on to say that the elder is the ancestor who comes from a message of healing change. He is an embodied soul, yet he has had journeys that go beyond the physical. Therefore, he represents a reclamation of power. I'm going to say that again. He represents a reclamation of power. So those that are sitting there with arthritis. Yeah. Redo your research. It's easy to do the research for the physical body, right? But find out on the emotional and on the spiritual body what arthritis is all about. It's about holding on. And so the more that you can release, the better your physical body is going to adapt. But do your research. When you're in chat rooms like with Polly Joe or Orchun and Carl Franklin, ask them about that. What does that represent in the physical body? And you'll find some very interesting information, something that is going to resonate with you and what they can share through their perspective of healing. Right? So it's a reclamation of power. When he appears, it's an acknowledgement that you have the capacity to move beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. If you had expectations of success, failure, sadness, or even sickness placed upon you by your family, it's important to know that you are here to create your own story. To create your own story. This card represents personal healing that will bring healing to your family lineage, past, present, and future. Know that you get to decide what you want to take on. And also know that your ancestors are rooting for you and are sorry for any setbacks they have created for you. That's really interesting. Because when you take a look at these two cards together, right? These two cards together, set your sights higher. You have the entire universe within you and working with you and for you, supporting you. And then you get this one, right? Is move beyond ancestral patterns, reclaim your power, let go, release family, ancestral behaviors that are not yours. They don't have to be. You can make that decision to change that, to heal it. And the universe is behind you to do that. So what is it? If you sit there just for a moment, take a deep breath in, exhale, and ask, what is the one thing that I can change that was handed down from my ancestors that's no longer supporting me? Because you have the opportunity to heal it. Learn from it, gain that wisdom from it, right? But you can let it go. Let it go. I've been working on the diabetes thing and the heart thing because the heart conditions run on my mom's side of the family. And there's a lot of broken hearts on that side of the family. So healing. That's what I was doing last weekend with Polly Joe, is healing the heart chakra. Healing the heart chakra. Crying and healing the heart chakra. But what is it for you? What is it for you? Because we all have one. Maybe more than one, but we all have it. And so for the energy for today, that's what I believe that's what it's about, is identifying what is that pattern, that ancestral pattern that you no longer need to carry from your ancestors, or so that you can release it so that your descendants don't have to carry it either. And you have the entire universe behind you supporting you in that work, in that healing. I think that's beautiful. Yeah. It'll be a celebration. It'll be a celebration for sure. When you have done your part, done your healing work, and you can feel that shift happening. You know, all last week, it was all about, the energy was all about shifting. There was a big shift coming. It's not just coming, and now it's at your door. And you got the support from your team for it. And today it's all about changing something that's pretty ancient, that has been with your lineage for a long time. Patterns that you can actually help release. You'd be changed. That ripple effect is going to be huge. I'm excited about that. So with that, if it resonates with you, pick it up, grab it, embrace it. Kind of sit back and kind of see how the day unfold. You know, how did it unfold this morning and now this afternoon and evening, and the energy around what we just shared? And how does that fit for you if it resonates with you? Yeah. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Some of it is some of the addictions, and others it's not, but some of it is. And others, it's the illnesses, whether it's in the body or in the mind. Yeah. So if it resonates, I think that's grand, because you're on the path for healing. Yay! And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay too. It wasn't for you. Just let it lie. And you know what I've been suggesting is that be the messenger, because that's still energy work. That's still a light worker. If you know someone who has been looking for information like this, or would find enjoyment in a spiritual conversation, is to share the link of the recorded live stream with them, and just be the messenger. Yeah. Doesn't have to resonate with you to do that. Yeah. Tonight is my weekly show called Communications from Home. And we're going to be talking about the October issue of Star Nations magazine. We're 5 years old. Did you know that? Yeah, we are. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. But we've been producing and publishing the magazine for 5 years this month. Doesn't feel like that long at all. But we're going to be talking about some of the backstory to the October issue. And so please join me for that. We're going to be doing a giveaway of 2 magazines. In fact, why don't we do that right now too? We're going to do a past issue of the magazine. Past issue. And I'm just going to scroll back through the chat here. All right. And it looks like, I usually count, it looks like it's going to be Anne-Marie Retzloff. Anne-Marie Retzloff. You just won a back issue of Star Nations magazine. And I have a whole bunch of them, right? Because what I do is I order the magazine when it comes out for myself. And what I do is I go through it, and it's the print magazine. And I go through it, and make notes and that kind of stuff for changes and what worked, what didn't work. And I sit down with our layout specialists and we go over the changes and that kind of thing. So I have all of them, and I thought, they're just gathering dust here. Why don't I give some away? So Annie, you're going to be getting a back issue of the Star Nations magazine. I'll select one for you and put it in the mail to you, okay? So if you could PM me your postal address, I'd appreciate that, and we'll get that magazine out to you, okay? Thanks, Anne, for being in the chat. All right. So tonight is Communications from Home at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be doing giveaways there for the October issue, print, and also the digital. All right, so join us for that. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and for Soul Connections at 7 p.m. with Polly Jo LeBay. Yay! Polly Jo Wednesday nights is all about healing. It's all about healing. So if you want to take some time for yourself and identify something that you want to start to heal and let go of, like an ancestral pattern, come and join us. Polly Jo, she creates the sacred space and holds that space for us. And with her spiritual team, helps us to release, heal, and she works with our spiritual team. So it's a very special night. And she does card draws too, individual mini readings at the last half hour of the show about. So, and Wednesday afternoon, I almost forgot. Wednesday afternoon is Nature Adventures. And that's my new show that I co-host with Minnie Kansman, Nature Adventures. And that's at 3 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday afternoon. Okay. So we'll see you then, huh? Have a good rest of the day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me double check something here, because if we do that's 2:00 here. Yeah. So the card draw tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it in the morning, or we're going to have to skip tomorrow because I can't do Nature Adventures and this live stream at the same time. So I'll let you guys know in the morning, okay? I'll send out a post in the morning and let you know. So enjoy the rest of your day. Bama Mina, until we see each other again. I love you guys.